Hi, Leo. Welcome to your July 2021 Astro Update. It's Raina here. Um, yeah, all about you, Leo. Well, not all about you, but enough to keep you pumped up. The sun is going into your sign in July, as it does every year. But as we begin the month of July, Venus is in your sign since late June. So that can feel very nice to have this planet that's associated with, attracting money and just, we can just say good things to a person in that first house of the self. And so this may make you irresistible to others. It doesn't have to be just for romantic reasons either. I mean, if you are somebody who is looking for a job, maybe that will make you uh, someone who is has like an aura that an employer is very drawn to. Or if you're looking for love, definitely. I think that's what everybody was assuming I was talking about. But no, there are different areas in life that this may be to your benefit. But it just can be a general sense of well-being that you have as well. And on the 9th, we have a new moon at 18 degrees of Cancer. Cancer is a sign before you, so this is actually taking place in the 12th house, which is the house of past lives. So will you meet someone around the 9th of the month that is a soulmate or somebody that you really have a strong tie to? This can be some kind of new endeavor that has a spiritual theme to it. So maybe you're starting yoga classes, maybe you're starting some kind of spiritual training or study. The 12th house is the house of solitude and like retreating. So a new moon here could give you some kind of opening to be able to do that more often in the near future. So if you have been looking for a venue where you can go to and just get away from it all, but including technology and all of that, there might be some kind of breakthrough that allows you to do that. On the 11th, Mercury goes into Cancer, and so Mercury joins the Sun here. That's an important point to make, is that, the Sun is also in your 12th house, and Sun is your ruler. So that's a very important transit. But for everybody, when the Sun is in the 12th house, it's the month before their birthday. Also, it can be for the rising sign, the period before the Sun enters your first house and begins a new cycle. The 12th house is the last house, so it's unfinished business and things like that. And so you may be feeling already like you're craving solitude. Leo's a fire sign. It's an extroverted sign. So needless to say, it's not typically like this, but this can be a great time. And when you're conscious of it, knowing that it comes every year, where you can, schedule a vacation, but that's not something that's very social, where it's more contemplative time, where you have a lot, and even like those vipassana, I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, I always mispronounce that, those 10-day meditation, I don't know if they call them retreats, or it's a thing that you can attend, and that might be something fun to do the month before your birthday. who knows? But anyway, yeah, so your sun is there, so that Mercury is joining the sun. And Mercury in the 12th house, give yourself room to, be more in internalizing things, not being, maybe you don't want to talk that much. Maybe you are not capable of like thinking, very linear, is it linearly in a linear fashion? Because the 12th house is very psychic, but it's not necessarily very practical or grounded. Any kind of vague anxieties or fears, understand that there might be some very subtle triggers that are occurring. 12th house is unconscious memories. So to me, that's past life memories, not from childhood necessarily. That would be more subconscious. Although, I guess if it's really repressed, like, really, really repressed, it could be the 12th house. And it's a great time for meditation. Let's put it that way. On the 21st, Venus goes into Virgo, and this is the sign after you. So this is the second house of earned income. And Venus is the ruler of the second house, so that's really nice. That's a double Venusian influence, and Leos don't need that as an excuse, though. Let's face it, you're pretty free spending usually, unless you have a lot of Cancer inner planets or water moon signs. You will tend to be much more ostentatious, interested in living large, and the Venus influence in the second house can really lead to buying a big ticket item. Not necessarily something that you need and that you can't go without, but something that you really want. So maybe you are looking to buy a new car, and you don't want to have just like a utility type of car. You want something that's very flashy. I don't know. Venus in the second house can be, I think it can be good for your self-esteem. You can feel like, and maybe that makes it easier for you to earn money, to attract others. And of course, Leos tend to be very confident and, have a good self-esteem when you're well balanced anyway, but this just is icing on the cake. On the 22nd, the sun goes into your sign, so suffice it to say, this is also your ruler, and this can make you feel like $1,000,000. Definitely, the sun in your sign. Very, like, even physically revitalized. On the 23rd, we have a full moon at 1 degree of Aquarius, and there's going to be 2 full moons in Aquarius. The second one will be a blue moon because it's the second full moon in the same sign, So that'll be in August. So right now we're talking about 1 degree of Aquarius. And normally this would be your 7th house because it's the opposite sign. However, because it's only at 1 degree, the people who are most likely affected by this are those who are cuspy types of Leos on the cusp with Cancer. So the rest of you this might be more in your work sector, and that could have an impact about maybe you get a raise. Well, actually, it might be more of like a promotion or something along those lines. But, certainly money could follow a raise. So that's not necessarily contradictory. But it can also be finding out something in the workplace. Maybe there's been some kind of funny business going on that you have been trying to figure out who's behind it, and this gets resolved. So that might be very good to know. Yeah, what I was talking about was a promotion, in case I didn't fully explain that. Some There might be some of you that just quit, just decide you've had enough. Um, on the 27th, Mercury goes into Leo. So now you have Mercury in your own sign. You can communicate who you are, what you're about a lot more effectively, and that can benefit you whether you're dating or whether you're having talking to a prospective employer or a prospective client. Also, it's just nice to be away from that weird, those weird mental hits that you might have been taking. On the 28th, Jupiter goes back into Aquarius. So Jupiter went briefly into your 8th house when, in Pisces, and now it's back in the 7th house. And the 7th house is also the house of legal affairs. So these kinds of issues can also be concerning you, and you might be, finding that there's some kind of cosmic loophole that is in your favor. So that would be really cool. And maybe you'll get blessed by this situation that is occurring when Jupiter, even with Jupiter going retrograde and all. On the 29th, Mars goes into Virgo. So Mars goes into that money-making sector. This can make it so that you are really motivated to earn money. And you're just like hustling. You want to just, go for it and try to make as much as you can. And Leo's already workaholic, so that's not something that hard work isn't something that you're afraid of. So if your natal Mars is in Leo as well, you might have a lot of stamina. I think you could possibly have, you could have Mars in Taurus too, and that's another fixed sign. It's all about the fixed signs, or Scorpio, I guess, and that sense of stick-to-itiveness. Mars is your drive and getting you to do something. So, so it's very favorable for money matters for sure. Okay, and for those people, like I said, who are on the cusp with Cancer, with your sun or your rising sign, the 7th house influence could be, either you're committing to commitment, committing to another person, becoming monogamous or becoming married or moving in, or finding out, what they're up to and kind of realizing what they're up to. So either way, that could be happening. And in any case, I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.